Well, officially, welcome everyone to Cookie Chat. Tonight, we are talking about delivery, getting ready and sorting orders and all the fun things that go along with delivery. So I'm going to turn it over to my teammate, Sherry, who is the subject matter expert for all things delivery. So take it away, Sherry.
Thanks, Angela. My name is Sherry Lambert, and I am one of the managers here in product program with the Girl Scouts. And so we're going to talk tonight a little bit about delivery and how to be ready for delivery, how to sort your girl cookies, and then we'll take, of course, questions at the end, like Angela mentioned before. So I'm going to move on to the next slide, if it will let me. Oh boy, here we go. There it is. We're going to start out with technical issues right away. So it's cookie delivery time on February 4th to the 6th and 9th to the 13th. We do split up the dates a little bit there to give our delivery agents time after our first busy weekend to get loaded again and set off on the next round of deliveries. You will hear from your service units shortly about when your delivery time is. We are working on scheduling now. We have to make sure that there is enough room on the trucks that we had previously scheduled as a tentative list to make sure they actually have enough room to be able to do the delivery the way we need it happen. So it's going to take us another day or so, and then everybody will have their delivery schedules and you'll be hearing from your service unit. So we have two different kinds of delivery, and a lot depends on what your service unit has done previously and how they would like to proceed in the future. So our orders have been getting a little bit smaller because of the pandemic. And so some service units that may have gone one way have changed to a different kind of delivery. So we'll start at the bottom here on the list, if that's okay, with the service unit delivery station. And a delivery station is staffed and coordinated by your service unit cookie manager in your area. Usually those are held inside of a building like a church or a school or a community center. Sometimes they're at people's homes, in their garages, or even inside their homes, depending on the size of your order. And the other type of a delivery is called a drive-through. And a drive-through is more, it's a quicker way to deliver cookies, usually with higher volume, which is why we have a 2,000 case minimum for drive-through, or we can have multiple service units working together at one location to fill up a trailer and make it really worthwhile to have a delivery at that location. So basically how it works is your service unit cookie manager will decide to do this type of delivery based on your service unit's order. She will find help from the service unit, maybe community groups. Some go to the high school and find different kinds of groups and clubs to help out at delivery, and some just use troops like dads and moms to come on out and help move cookies from a cookie trailer to a car. And the basic premise is that a trailer sets up, a big semi-trailer opens up side doors, there's cookies inside that trailer, and the car will drive past the trailer and stop at each door where the required amount of cases are loaded into their car by the volunteers. In most cases, for usual average orders, you can be in and out of there in 5-10 minutes tops. For larger orders, it'll take a little longer, but what I remember from a drive-through when I did it as a volunteer is it's a lot of fun to work together for a short amount of time to see your service unit get everything delivered. So this is what a bubble sheet or a pick ticket looks like, and it's referred to both by various people around the council, so we'll call it both. This year it's kind of turned on its side because we have 9 different varieties. Normally it's turned the other way, and you'll see that each variety has its own color and a circle in the middle. And this corresponds with the color of the box to help when we're at delivery to know which variety is which. Your service unit cookie manager will fill in the lines here, making sure to put in each one of these circles what your exact cookie order is. And then we'll either, depending on what type of delivery you have, we'll stick it on your car if you're doing a drive-through so everybody can see what to put in your car, or we'll put it on your stack of cookies before you come and pick up to make sure that we know which one is yours. The most important thing is to make sure that you count everything and make sure that the cookie counts match what is on the bubble sheet. So here's a great question. When will I know where and how to pick up my cookies? And that question will be answered by your service unit cookie manager. Basically, she will tell you once she has the schedule how she wants to work things. And each location would have little idiosyncrasies to it, like maybe there's stairs or outside doors or however, and she'll make sure she tells everybody how the structure will work. And then how do you know what you're picking up and how do you sort your cookies? So you know what you're picking up by looking in eBuddy, and I'll show you where that is shortly. It'll tell you exactly how many cases you'll be getting. And then you sort your cookies based on that same page I'm going to show you in eBuddy, making sure to give each girl exactly what her order is. Okay, I'm having, oh, there we go. So Angela, I am going to stop sharing screen real quick, and I'm going to go to the next thing I want to show.
Not a problem. Thanks, Sherry, for that information. Again, just as a reminder, everyone, if you have a question, you're welcome to raise your hand or drop it in the Q&A box as well. We will address them either during or right after Sherry goes through a couple of things. So again, your questions are definitely welcome. So Sherry, I'll turn it back over to you.
Thanks, Angela. So here I'm going to show you eBuddy from a troop leader perspective. So this troop gave me permission to show their order, and we're going to go right here to the initial order tab. That's where you're going to be looking for pretty much everything you need to know for your delivery. So when you open the initial order tab, you're going to see, if you scroll all the way down to the bottom, let me move some things on my screen here so I can actually see it myself. There we go. You'll see all these girl orders. Okay, see Anna, Brianna, Claire, all these girl orders are here. This is the order card that the troop put in. That would be her paper order card. The DOC girl delivery. These are any girl delivery cookies the girl would have sold through digital cookie. And then there's a total order line here underneath that. Let me see if I can, oh, there is some girls that I think have, here's one with no order card, but just digital cookie. Here's one that's got both. Order card of 27 packages, and she's got digital cookie of 27, totals out to 54. So eBuddy calculates everything for you all the way down the line until we get to the very bottom here. And this is where, if you were doing booth, you may have entered some booth cookies, okay, into the line. At the very bottom here, you see cases to order. This is the cases to order in this middle line here. This troop is getting 134 cases, and these are case counts for each different variety that they're going to be getting. eBuddy would have totaled every girl's order for Adventurefuls and Lemon Ups and Trefoils and got down to a package count. And then eBuddy would have rounded that up to the next full case. So as an example, here's 11 cases of Trefoils. And because they needed 131, and there's actually 132 in 11 cases, she's going to have one extra package right here. Okay, so this is her case count to pick up a delivery. This is what should be on your pick ticket / bubble sheet. Okay, so when you pick up your cookies, you're going to want to sign some type of a receipt to make sure that you have everything you're supposed to have. And then you go home, unload your car right away and count again. And just make sure that you still have everything you're supposed to have, because you'd be surprised. Sometimes the numbers don't match, and it's not through any fault of your own. It's just a lot. When you've got 134 cases, it's very easy to miscount something. So let's say you get home and everything matches and you have your 134 cases and you're ready to sort cookies now. Here's what you're going to do to sort each individual girl. You start with the top girl on the list if you can. Let me get all the way to the top here. Okay, we're going to start with Alexa, and Alexa's total order is right here. She's going to walk away with 38 packages of cookies. So when you sort, you open up the cases and you give her 1 Adventureful, 1 Lemon Up, 3 Trefoils, 7 Do-si-dos, and on and on and on until you get to the 38 packages. You'll want to fill out a receipt for her to make sure that the parents will sign that receipt for you, and they will double count to make sure that your count is accurate as well. And then you'll go down the list and sort each girl in order, making sure you have enough room to stack each girl's order clearly so that you know what is for who or who is for what, depending on how you look at it. So when you get all the way to the bottom here, oh, here's Winifred, and we're going to do Winifred's order, and she's got 32 packages. And now you're all done. So when you're all done, you should have left over your extras, and then you know you counted exactly right. So everything here plus your extras will equal the 134 cases. So our advice is never to let anything go until you're finished counting everything to make sure that all of your counts are correct before anything leaves the premises, because you can always go back and recount and double check. And believe me, even those of us at council double check everything, because we make counting mistakes as well. And that's the only way that you can be sure you know what went to who. And then also you'll have a signed receipt that they would have also double counted before signing. So you'll know you have everything right. So Angela, is there anything that you think we should add here? Is there anything you'd like to add?
No, but
Sure.
there's a question, and I think this is
Okay.
like the perfect time to ask. So someone has asked, is there a way to break down the girls' order more, like such as who ordered and what that customer ordered, so that the girl can get the right boxes of cookies right down to the customer?
So if she has on her order card, she should have who bought what, like here. Stella should know who ordered these cookies on her order card. That would be one way for her to know who gets what. For the digital girl delivered cookies, she would be able to go into her digital cookie account or her site, and she should be able to see who purchased what from her and what their order was. That's the easiest way. There are reports in digital cookie as well that will help you. There are also reports over here in eBuddy that could help you as well. A lot of them are down here. DOC orders by girl. Let's do that one. You can do, let's do delivered in person. And let's go with packages, just to give you an idea of what it's going to look like. And I'm going to order it up here. And it's opening. Everything is in Excel documents here, which is kind of cool. Where did it go? There it
It
is.
probably went to your other screen.
Can you see it, Angela?
Not yet. You'll probably have to either
have
do a
to
new
screen
share or drag it over.
Okay, then I might have to do a new share. Let me see when it opens. You can't see that?
Nope.
Okay, let's do a new share. Where did it go? Here we go. Okay, can you see it now?
Yes.
Awesome. So I'm going to enable editing so we can maybe move things around a little bit if it will let me. There we go. Okay, so here you can see each girl's name, the order number, and what the order is. So this is another way for you to know when you're sorting orders, which of the digital cookie orders are for what girl. This is for you, not for the parent necessarily, because the parent will need to know who the customer is and will need to go into digital cookie to find that information out. But I'm just showing you that eBuddy does give you different kinds of reports to help you figure out who gets what.
Okay. So Sherry, I have a question for you. If you're, and you'll probably have to go back to sharing at some point, but absolutely. I have a question for you, which is, if I'm a troop leader, for example, I'm coming to pick up my troops order. Is there anything in particular that maybe I should bring with me? Maybe I don't have access to eBuddy. You know, I'm coming from the grocery store and I know I'm coming to pick up my order.
Well, that's a great question. So the first thing I'd like to mention is that you'll want to come with an empty car, if possible, to make sure that you can get all of your cookies in. That means no children, no car seats, no dogs, no groceries. You want to make sure that you fit everything in one load. And if you have to bring additional vehicles, they have to come with you at the same time. You'll also want to bring a copy of this. There is a printable version right here. You can click on it and it will be a printable version of what your initial order is that you can bring with you. And it will show your case counts down at the bottom so that you can cross-reference what's on that bubble sheet too, to make sure that those numbers are accurate before you count out your cookies.
Okay.
Is there anything you can think of that you'd like to add?
You know what? No, that's as you just mentioned, that's definitely a great idea to come with an empty car. And of course, like maybe one other person, especially if you're doing a drive-through, so that that person can like get out at the end and count the cookies that have been placed into the car.
That's a great point to make. If you're doing a drive-through delivery, you will want to bring two people with you. The first person is the driver, and she never gets out of the car. She never puts the car in park. She always stays right there in that seat. And the second person can turn around in the car and pull the cookies forward to help everybody in the that's putting them in the car, to make sure that they come all the way forward and they can load from the front to the back. Or at the, as you mentioned, to get out and help double count. The reason that we don't want the driver to ever get out of the car is it's too easy for there to be an accident while there are people standing around the car, and it has happened before in our council. So we have a very strict do not get out of the car policy for the driver. And really that's about it. Anybody helping out at any of these delivery locations can be 13 years old or older. And actually they just need to be paying attention, as I mentioned, because there's moving cars around. That's the only thing that's really important. No children under 13, again, because of moving cars. And the volunteers will never be asked to get up into the trailer either. There's usually plenty of men to do that. So you never have to worry about that. I would very definitely encourage you to help out and volunteer at your service unit cookie pickup. They're always looking for help, and it definitely makes it go smoother when they have enough help.
So Sherry, there are a couple of questions. I have one before I present the two that were asked tonight. One of the questions I have is, what happens if I, as a troop person, for example, miss picking up my troop's cookie order, as well as what if I'm a parent and I've missed picking up my Girl Scouts order? What should I do?
Those are awesome questions too. If you miss picking up at a drive-through, the cookies will stay on the truck and they will go back to the warehouse. In that circumstance, the service unit cookie manager will contact me with the troop information, and I will contact the troop and tell you where your warehouse is that you'll have to go to pick up your cookies. We have 3 of them scattered around the council, and it just depends on which delivery agent is delivering you. That would depend on which warehouse you go to. If you are going to a delivery station inside a school or a church or someone's home, it's very important that you also show up that day, because they are probably, if you want to say, renting that space, and they do need to get the cookies out of there by the end of their time frame so that that location can use that room or center for something else that they may have planned. If you are working with someone's home, you stand a better chance maybe of being delayed, but I would definitely recommend that you pick up your cookies on the day that you're assigned to, so that you're sure you can get them at when it's convenient, and also that you are not inconveniencing another location or volunteer. If you're a parent and your troop has said pickup is Saturday at noon and you can't make it, you can always send someone else, like you can for your troop pickup as well. You don't have to be the only person that goes. You can send someone else, but whoever you send, whether it be to pick up the troop order or the girl order, just make sure they understand where to go, what your troop number or girl name is, and that they have to count and sign afterwards. It's very important that you don't leave cookies for weeks sitting with a troop cookie manager, because she also would like you to come pick them up so she can have her house back.
That's awesome. Thanks, Sherry, so much. That's definitely helpful. And so a couple of questions for you. One, I will call a bonus question. So the first part of the question is, if someone had girl delivered orders, since we're talking about delivery, girl delivered orders after January 19th, but before our actual delivery, period, let's just say February 7th, how do they track those? And how will the troop leader know if they need additional product to fulfill those orders?
Those are both great questions. So Digital Cookie will show you any orders. As a parent, you'll be able to see those on your girl's Digital Cookie page, and you'll still have to approve those girl delivered orders. The troop manager, the troop cookie manager or leader cannot see those orders. So you will have to tell them as a troop parent what it is that the girl sold, and then the troop will get the cookies for you. Now, if you're at the in-between time of like right now, before we actually get to delivery, but we're done with the initial order, these things will continue tallying in eBuddy and Digital Cookie. The orders won't stop. They'll keep coming in, and the parent will have to track what it is that they need. It could be that when the troop picks up their cookies from delivery, there will be enough extras, like on the bottom line here in the troop that I'm showing, that she might be able to use those extra to fulfill the order, and you might get them right away. But it's important for the parent to be able to communicate with the troop what it is that they need, so that the troop can then get the cookies for the parent. If the troop does not have enough extras here, the troop can also get cookies in 2 other ways. They can trade with another troop once everybody has taken delivery of their cookies, or they can place what's called a cupboard order at one of our gathering place cupboards and come and pick up the cookies there. And that wouldn't happen until after our cupboards open on February 7th. So we're kind of in that in-between no man's land when we don't have cookies, but orders are going to continue populating. And it's really just up to the parent to let the troop know what it is they need. And to be honest, it's also up to the troop to decide how often they want to come and get cookies at the cupboard. Let's say they only want to do it every Friday, then the parents need to understand they have to get whatever order they need to the leader before then, so that she can place the order and come and get them.
So added on to that, Sherry, and those are great. What would happen if I happen to be a proactive troop leader and maybe I want to get an idea as far as what girls may have received girl delivered orders that have been approved after, of course, the initial order period? Is there any way that I can kind of track that information?
To see just the ones that came in after initial order?
Mm-hmm.
Well, there's one way as a troop leader to try and see some of them, and that's to go to the transactions tab here. On the transactions tab, you'll see the initial delivery here. This is what the initial order is in packages. That's on the initial order. Here it is right here. Let's let it populate. There we go. This is the initial order right here. It is the same as what is listed here under initial delivery. Anything underneath that is part of the initial order. And anything that will be above that will be after the initial order. That's one way to tell if you've had any orders. So if this is dated 1/22, anything dated after 1/22 is part of the second phase of the program. And you'll see it reflected here as an example for shipped orders. Now, if a girl has girl delivered orders, you might be able to see them. Let's see what we got here. It kind of does the same thing under the girls. Here's her initial order, and you'll see other orders populate underneath for girl delivered cookies. You'll see total amount here, total due, total paid, but you won't see the cookies populate because you have to get those cookies and assign those to the girl as a troop leader. It just does it a little different. It's a little different process, but you can still see orders here. And again, there's always reports that you can pull. Let's see, let's just do this one. Is this the one we did before? I don't think so. All DOC orders. Let me see if I can screen share this one, and we'll show it to you so that you can see it does have dates on it, and it will give you order numbers. All right, let me do a new screen share.
I can see it.
Oh, you can.
So you don't have to do a new one. Mm-hmm.
Isn't that weird? Sometimes you can and sometimes you can't. So here it gives you, person's name, order number, what type of order it is, do they have donated, and then what the order is again here. But I think the most important part of all of this is that it should be dated. Is it not? There it is, date. So everything here, you can see the 12/16, 12/21, those all came in before the initial order. Remember that date was January 22nd. And these are all dated. Oh, look at that. Here we go. Here's a girl. She's got an order at the very bottom here, dated 1/25. That's part of the second phase of the program. And it's girl delivered cookies. Well, look at that. So
awesome.
We can see what her order is. Bing, bing, bing. There it is. This is her order. And if I was to move up, you can see the different variety of cookies here.
So Sherry, what would happen if, I don't have those cookies in my extras, and I know I can put in a transaction into eBuddy to get cookies from the cupboard, but do I have to get a case?
You don't. You can get individual packages. So as an example, in this bottom order here, she needs 2 of these. Let me see what's in that column. 2 trefoils. What if you don't have 2 trefoils? That would be when you would place a cupboard transaction to pick up just those 2 packages of trefoils. And that would have to be at a gathering place cupboard. You couldn't do it at one of our volunteer ones, just at the ones that are considered our gathering place ones or office ones, if you will. Would you like me to show how to do that, Angela?
Yes, we have a few minutes. Why not?
Okay. Can you see eBuddy again? Are we back?
I can.
Awesome. So we're going to go back to the transactions tab. All righty. We're going to add a transaction. Well, look at that. I'm going to add a cupboard order. And here I'm going to pick one of our gathering place. There's one in Chicago. There's one in Homewood, one in Joliet. There's one in Maryville. There is one in Vernon Hills. Here they are. Oh, and there's Greenwood too. Isn't Greenwood on here?
It is, at least I thought.
I'm going to have to double check that. I don't see
All
it.
right. Well, we'll double check that, but I know it'll be there before our cupboards open February 7th.
Yes. So here, let's pick one. Okay. I'm going to pick the Chicago one. Here's a map it if you want to know where it is. And then you have to select a pickup date, and it won't let you pick up before we open on the 7th. So we can put the 7th in here, and then you're going to want to pick a time. You can go anytime. You can say 10 a.m. See if it'll let me do it. There we go. It assigns a receipt, so please don't change that receipt number. And here's where you put the order in packages or cases, depending on what you need. Then you hit save or okay, and then save over here, and then you're done.
Excellent. Wow, that seems super easy. And I know sometimes people have questions, especially as it relates to our donated cookies. Like, does the troop have to take those out? What happens with those? Well, just as an aside, if a girl has any donated cookie orders, the council takes care of those. So the troop leader only has to worry about the physical cookie packages. So in this example, those 7 cookies, let's assume we already have those 7 packages at the council, and we'll get those donated to our military community organizations, as well as our essential workers when the time comes at the end of our program. But if there are troops that happen to have or collect donated cookies, say during their booth sale, then the troop can donate those cookies to whatever organization or community that the troop has decided to support at that time. But either way, our Girl Scouts get credit for those.
And
so I'm going to ask our 2 other panelists if they have any additional questions or things they want to share, as well as if anyone else has any questions that they want to ask before we wrap up, just let us know. Now is a great time.
Hey, everybody. Did we answer the question about what troops could do with their extras?
Sort of. So thanks, Susan. Sorry, we kind of answered sort of. So as Sherry mentioned, with those extras, you can fulfill girl delivered orders with those, whether those came through digital cookie, post the initial order period, or maybe one of your Girl Scouts still has her order card and she has some orders that she needs to fill. You can use your extras to fulfill those orders. In addition, you can conduct cookie exchanges with another troop within your service unit. Maybe they're looking for some extras that you happen to have, and you can go through the process, as Sherry is showing you now, how to conduct a cookie exchange. It's super easy, and troops within service units are able to basically help their sister troop. So those are a couple of great ways. In addition, troops can utilize those extras to actually donate to maybe an organization. But of course, the troop will be paying for those extras that they are donating. Okay. Anything else? Any other questions? Panelists, any other feedback?
I had a couple of comments back on the transactions tab.
Yes.
I know we have that magic add a transaction button right now, but I don't think our volunteers will have that until February 1st. Is that correct?
This is at the troop level.
Oh, they can add transactions now?
It looks like it's working. Yeah, I wasn't sure if it was or not, but this is at the troop level. Mhm.
Okay. The other thing I would like to interject is don't forget that magic save button in the corner. If you don't hit that magic save button, that transaction quite likely will go away like it never existed.
Yeah, that save button is powerful.
It is.
Mhm.
Great.
We call it a magic save button in the corner.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. Sherry, that was awesome information about delivery. Were you going to say something else?
No, the only thing I was going to say is if that added transaction doesn't show up for you to look for it on February 1st.
Excellent. Excellent. All right. Any other questions from our audience tonight? And Sherry, if you can go back to the presentation slide, just in case we have anyone that's new.
Hold on a minute. Let me see if I can do that. I don't.
No problem. You may have to do a new share.
I'm gonna have to stop sharing. Maybe I'll do a new share, see if I can.
Yeah.
Sorry, give me 1 minute.
And yes, you can sell your extras at a booth. How could I forget that with booth season coming up? Absolutely. You can utilize those extras at your booth site as well.
Absolutely. And when people find out that you are selling cookies, you'll be getting phone calls and people tapping you on the shoulder at work and all kinds of fun things because they know you're their cookie person.
That is true. That is true.
Mhm.
Well, if there are no other questions for tonight, thanks everyone for joining us. Sherry, whoops, we do have another question. All right, hold on. Give me
Allie has a
1
question.
second. Yes, give me 1 minute.
Mhm.
And while I do this, in the interim, if anyone has any questions or you need to drop off, please feel free to reach out to us, the product program team. Our information is here on the screen. It's 855-456-8347, extension 6722. You can drop us an email as well at productprogram@girlscoutsgcnwi.org. Miss Grant, you had a question for us. How can we help you tonight?
Hello. I do. I had a question about booths. Is that okay?
Yes, you can go ahead and ask that question.
So my question is, I feel like in previous years, there's been a lot more booth options up for Chicago, and there's like 5 different sites at the moment and not a whole lot of options. And I'm just wondering, are there more places that are going up and like how quickly those will go, or are we realistically at this point meant to be finding our own places?
That's a wonderful question, and I will answer it this way. As we obtain booth site opportunities from our amazing service unit teams, we quickly upload them into eBuddy, allowing volunteers/troops to choose their booth sites. So as we get them in, that's how we're uploading them. This year, of course, is a little bit different because we're getting approvals on booth sites a little bit slower than we have in the past. Businesses are a little bit slower to give their approval. But of course, My Sales Sites is opening up actually this Sunday, which is an opportunity for any troop who has perhaps a relationship with a business, or maybe they want to go out on their own to find a booth site location. They can definitely do that. But please make sure that you check our council site list first to make sure that any of those options are not already listed, because of course we don't want anyone to waste their effort to try and find their own booth site. And then finally, about the my sales sites, please make sure you put those into eBuddy, because we want to make sure that customers know exactly where you are when they go to look on the cookie finder for a troop that's selling maybe their favorite Thin Mints. Okay.
Absolutely. So quick follow-up question to that then. When you say look on the council site, you're talking about eBuddy where it says booths, look there.
Yes.
So then my other question to that is, obviously there's a lot of sites that are not there this year that have been there in previous years. So you know, and we do have a little bit of a relationship with some of those places that we've been to before because we've
Mhm.
seen them. How do
Mhm.
we know whether or not it's allowed to approach them? You know, because isn't it that we're not meant to be talking to like the Dunkin' Donuts and the Jewel and the Ace Hardware and stuff because the service unit manager is coordinating that? Like, how, if those are not happening, are we allowed to do them on our own or not?
Definitely, you're not allowed to reach out to Walmart, Jewel, Sam's Clubs, and I feel like I'm missing someone. Walmart, Jewel's, Sam's
That's
Clubs.
it.
Okay, I think that's it for sure. You're not,
Okay.
or malls, definitely not those. The council
No.
takes care of those. But
Yeah.
again, if you happen to know, I'm going to use Sam's Hardware, for example, say that
Mhm.
that's a huge chain. You know that.
Yeah.
Be sure to look in eBuddy to make
Yeah.
sure that Sam's Hardware store is not in the council list. After
Absolutely.
that, you're able to reach out to that location to establish your own booth site opportunity.
Okay. Brilliant. Thank you.
You're welcome. All right. And I know we have another question, so give me 1 second here. I'm going to. All right. So just to kind of wrap everything up, everyone,
There you go.
there you go. All right. So thank you so much again, everyone, for joining us. I'll hang out for a little bit if you have any additional questions. So thanks, everybody, and enjoy your evening.
Have a good night.